Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother Dawud coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for Yakim pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here lesson dealing with prophecy, all right, and the importance of prophecy, all right, because right now where we at, right now, that's what we heavily going into, is prophecy, because now more than ever, it's time for these prophecies to start speaking. Let me start out there real quick. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. I'm gonna read verse 2 and 3. It says, I'm gonna just read verse 3. I'll read verse 2. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. All right. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it shall surely come. It will not tarry. All right. So what? These visions, all right, or these prophecies, all right, going into, let me see what this here word it says for visions, all right, because it's pretty much, it's going into the same thing, but let's look at this here word vision. All right, letter C, it says vision, oracle, prophecy, divine communication. All right. Hey, look at that, vision as title of book of prophecy. All right. It says Strong's definition of sight, mentally, a dream, a revelation, or oracle, a vision. All right. The same thing going back into what the word prophecy goes into. But nevertheless, now more than ever is the time now where these prophecies are speaking at. All right. Let me grab that as well too. This is Daniel chapter 12. I'm gonna read verse 3. It says, it's like verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end. And what is that talking about? All right, it's talking about these scriptures. In reality, basically the Most High is taking the vision or the breakdowns away from, where you couldn't understand these things. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times when in the scriptures, sometimes the prophets wrote, and they didn't understand what they was writing down. So, and like you would, they would ask for the interpretation of the vision. What is the interpretation of the vision thereof, and then the Lord would give them the interpretation thereof, But nevertheless, here in Daniel chapter 4 or chapter 12, verse 4 says, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. So these prophecies will be sealed up into the end time, all right, to when these prophecies will be fulfilled to start taking place. It's just like, for instance, right, when people go get married, or let's say somebody's throwing a big birthday party or something like that, some big event that they're trying to host or something, but it's far off. Like some people get engaged to get married. They're like, oh, we're gonna get married in at the end of the year or in 2 years or something like that. But then they'll have this date set forth. Let's just say they get married. Let's say it's January and they're getting married in December, right? So what'll happen is in January, they'll start saying, oh, we're getting married, and they'll, maybe start sending out invitations or whatever, whatnot, start doing a little planning here and there. But once things start getting closer and closer to the wedding day, all right, then that's when they start making their final arrangements. They want to make sure they get those RSVPs, make sure people are gonna, hey, are you coming to the wedding or to the party or whatever? Are you gonna make it, or so on and so forth? They start getting, tighten up the loose ends, more or less to say. They getting the final preparations done, because why? The wedding is right around the corner. But here it is, it's January 1st. Homeboy proposed to old girl, January 2nd. They not just like, we getting married tomorrow. The family don't have to fly in the very next day and prepare with all their wedding garments. The woman is not, she getting proposed to on January 1st. It's not like she's going to go get fitted for her dress January 2nd, got her makeup done and her hair done on January 2nd. Nah, she's not going to. That's a perfect example. She's not going to get her hair and her makeup done all the way up until like what? Maybe the week of the wedding, or a day or two before the wedding, because why? You're going to be and got your hair and your makeup done, and you got fucking 11 months before your wedding even comes around. So guess what? You're going to be waiting a long time, and that you got your certain hairstyle done. You're going to be waiting a long time to keep that hairstyle in, man. All right. So the same thing with these here prophecies. There was going to be a long dispensation of time that would pass by. All right. Like what we're reading here in the book of Daniel. You see what I'm saying? Or like when Yahawashi was on the scene, there was things that was said at that point in time, like let me think of some things, what does it say? The kingdom of heaven is closer than what we believe. All right. But yet and still, that was said back in those times. But now, you see what I'm saying? If you measure the time between it, that was a long time. But nevertheless, now we actually see these prophecies starting to take place, man. Right now, it's a time where you know that this bride is about to get married because why? She's going to go get her hair done. All right. She's going to go get her makeup done. You know what I'm saying? She's going to go get these last final things before the wedding comes. All right. Give me 1 second. Nevertheless, as the wedding approaches, she's going to start getting her makeup done and all these things because why? The wedding is right around the corner. Now it's time to be preparing for these things. Now it's time to like I said, tighten up the loose ends before the wedding day. All right. The same thing is being said here in Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. All right. Close up the book, or really it's the breakdowns. All right. Because anybody could have picked up, when we was all born, you could pick up the Bible, read through the Bible, whatever, whatnot. But what? A lot of the understanding wasn't revealed at that point in time, just like back in the days, my family, you know what I'm saying? Like my parents really grew up damn near, how do you say? Basically like most Jake Christians, in church damn near every damn day of the week, you know what I'm saying? And just a whole lot of different shit, right? But nevertheless, and they was drilled into their minds about a lot of different things, But, and what was weird is, my mom would be like, oh, she always liked to be fronting on some shit. She'd be like, oh, yeah, I know what the mark of the beast. They taught us about this. They did this and that. But she knows the scripture, but she don't know what it is. You see what I'm saying? She didn't know what it was. And it was like, well, yeah, because that technology wasn't around when y'all was growing up. When you was like 6 and 7 years old, they didn't have that technology out. You know what I'm saying? So how could you understand what that prophecy would be? All right. You know what I'm saying? And well, they had thermonuclear missiles back in those damn days. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? Before World War II, all right, it would be hard to understand that, go back to World War I when they was just dropping bombs out the sky. So how the hell are you going to shoot a missile from one end of the earth even to the other end when you have to free fall drop them? You see what I'm saying? So these prophecies will be sealed up because it wasn't time for them to come, But nevertheless, let me jump down a little bit. It says, verse 9, Daniel 12 and 9. And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. All right. Verse 10, many shall be purified and made white and trod, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. All right. Going into what? It says that, verse 9, and he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. So these scriptures, again, the prophecies was sealed up into the very times of the end. All right. This is now, like I was giving the analogy of the wedding, right? Now it's time for the chick to go get her makeup done, her hair done, or whatever, whatnot, because the wedding is like 2 days from now, or a day just tomorrow or some shit, right? Same way now. This is why we're going into these prophecies more and more and more all the time right now, because this is the time. Hey, that was a good analogy because, like in the scriptures say, bid as many to the marriage. All right. Now, the marriage was set for a certain day, but now we're getting closer and closer and closer. Now you're starting to see the bride go get that makeup on, go get her hair done. So now you know that the wedding is any day now. You see what I'm saying? It's closer than what you believe. Same with these here prophecies, man. All right, this is the time of the end, and this is why it's so important for us to be going into these here prophecies. Why it's important for us to be hitting these prophecies like so. All right. Let me go from there to Revelation 19 and 10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see, thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahawashi. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. All right, so what? The testimony of Yahawashi is what? The spirit of prophecy. All right, like the scripture also say, lo, I am written in the volume of the book. All right, throughout the whole book. There was prophecies throughout the whole book that was talking about Yahawashi. All right, all these things was pretty much a foreshadowing or basically a spoiler alert. All right, this is the Most High's movie, but throughout the whole damn movie, he was giving you spoiler alerts, throughout the whole movie. You watching this here movie, right, and you see the good guy versus the bad guy, whatever, whatnot, but it's the good guy running through a certain scene, you see a TV screen in the back, and you see how the bad guy wound up getting killed, or you see who wound up with you're trying to find out who the killer is or whatever, whatnot in the movie, but then you watching a certain scene throughout the movie, and then you see in the background, on a small TV, oh, that's who the killer is. He's been revealed. So throughout the whole script of the Most High's movie, he, pretty much left spoilers in there. And these spoilers are what? The prophecies, all right? Is letting you know what's going to happen before it even happens. Matter of fact, let me go into this here word prophecy, All right, a couple of these here definitions, right? Let me read I'm gonna read 1, 2, and 3, which is all saying the same thing, you know. It says of predictions of events relating to Hamashiach's kingdom. All right, like we just read, hey, the spirit of prophecy, or Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. All right, so it says predictions of, and really it's not a prediction, because a prediction sometimes you can predict who's gonna win the, let's say, the World Series, and you could be wrong with your prediction. Your prediction is just a how do they say what's that damn definition? Is it basically you making a guess before time, more or less to say, all right? But this ain't no guess of what's gonna happen. This is what was ordained. This, you talking to the scriptwriter of the movie. He already know what the fuck the next scene is, you know? This is like when you watching WWF and shit, right? You know, in WWF they got scriptwriters. You know, they at the beginning of the year they know the whole, you know, line of how whichever wrestler's gonna go and wind up winning the championship by the end of the year, right? They got this whole script. They got all the matches, who they gonna fight, so on and so forth, the different dialogues or whatever, whatnot. You just watching it play out, all right? So basically, you know, in wrestling, they already know who gonna win the match before the match even take place, all right? When they go and sit down and pin all these different things, that's what it's like. That's not a prediction. You watching at home, you making predictions of who you think is gonna win, all right? But it was already written in stone according to the script of who was gonna win this here wrestling match. So it's not really a prediction, all right? We already know because it's already fixed, all right? And this is the same thing that's going on. The Most High is pretty much the Vince McMahon of this here WWF, man. He's the script writer, the one that's writing all these things and telling you the outcome, who's gonna win and who's gonna lose, man. All right, like, hey, like the prophecy say, you know, the elder shall serve the younger. And when it first came out, he was read all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. All right, and basically Jacob came out afterwards holding on his heel. All right, so letting you know that the first, the elder shall serve the younger. The first came out as Esau, Salakia. He gonna serve Jacob. All right, so that's letting you know who's gonna wind up being a world champ. You know, basically the Most High said, look, they're gonna go to whatever wrestling event. You know, let's say not WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, right? They're gonna get to the Royal Rumble. Esau gonna win the Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna wind up let's just say he gonna win the Royal Rumble, win the championship match at the Royal Rumble. He wound up cheating his way into winning the championship match at the Royal Rumble. But guess what? The next big pay-per-view is what? WrestleMania. All right, so at the main event at WrestleMania, all right, the Most High had already had it, you know, because he like drama. So he going to have the bad guy win one. He going to cheat, whatever, whatnot. But Jacob going to be able to get his revenge at WrestleMania. All right, and then at WrestleMania, he already wrote down in the script that Jacob was going to wind up being victorious. He was going to walk out as the champion. All right. So again, this isn't a prediction or anything like that. This is just the Most High script that he has written down. All right. So it says of the prediction of events relating to Hamashiach's kingdom and speedy triumph, together with the consolations and admonitions pertaining to it, the spirit of prophecy, the divine mind to which the prophetic faculties is due, of the endowment of speech of the Christian teachers called prophets. All right, so this is what, going into the Christians, all right, the actual Christians are what? The Israelites, all right? First and foremost, they're Israelites. Second of all, these are basically Christ-like or anointed-like. You know, they was basically anointed and separated to go forth to do a job, to preach this here word, man. All right, so it says the endowment and speech of Christian teachers called prophets. All right, so, and what are they teaching you? They're teaching you these breakdowns and the prophecies that's inside these here scriptures, all right? It says the gifts and utterance of these prophets, especially of the predictions of the works of which set apart to teach the gospel, will accomplish for the kingdom of Hamashiach. Because why? Going deeper into that, all right, you go into what? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, where it says there has to be a falling away first. All right, then you go into what? Ezekiel 37 about the valley of the dry bones. All right, then, you know, you have, you know, Israel being gathered back up, Israel taking the kingdom. You can read that in the book of Daniel. All right, and, you know, the kingdom of heaven coming. You know, Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. All right, but by, like the Most I say, by the foolishness of preaching. All right, but nevertheless, the minute the Lord was going to wake up, you know, and they was going to wind up getting this here knowledge, these breakdowns, you know, more or less to say these prophecies, they're going to get the understanding of these here prophecies, like we just read in the book of Daniel. the words was going to be sealed up to the end, but then many going to be tried and made white and purified. All right, meaning there was that falling away. All right, you was basically dead to who you were. You were the valley of dry bones. You didn't know who the hell you were, or anything like that. But what? According to the prophecies, this is how pretty much all of us woke up, man. All right, you came across this here truth. More than likely, you came across the truth, and you started out with Deuteronomy 28. All right, talking about going into the curses, about the so-called Negroes going into slavery or whatever, whatnot. All right, and because of those prophecies that was written before your ass even went on the cargo slave ships, because this was written basically around the time we was leaving out of Egypt. All right, this was way before This was before the Babylonian Empire, Medo-Persian Empire, the Grecian Empire, the Roman Empire, before America was even thought of. You see what I'm saying? Or, calling it America. America was always here, but before it was even thought of, But nevertheless, these are prophecies that let us know who we were. So this is the beginning of us starting to wake up, that breath being blown back into us. All right, then the raising of that exceedingly great army, all based off of what? Prophecy. All right, we can see ourselves in these scriptures based off of prophecy. All right, the Spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High, according to what? The prophecies that's in these scriptures. All right. Also, we know that this here kingdom is coming to an end by viewing what? By what? The scriptures say measuring the time diligently. And what are we measuring? We're measuring these prophecies that we have left to go through. All right. When we see these end time prophecies, the last few, mark of the beast, thermonuclear warfare, Jacob's trouble, World War III. All right. We know that Esau being revealed, Jake being raised back up. We know that we at the end, man. The chariots. We know we at the end, man. All right. So let me go back from there. This is Revelation. This is Revelation 1 and 3. It says, "Blessed is he that readeth." All right. And what are you reading? You're reading through these here scripts. All right. And then also getting understand with all that get understanding. All right. It says, "Blessed is he that readeth and that hear the word of the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand." All right. So at the same time, when just reading this thing is one thing, but you have to read and understand what you're reading. All right. Not just that, you also have to apply these things. And then also with that, also a part of applying these things, you also have to measure the time diligently. If you understand these prophecies, RFID chip is the mark of the beast, World War III, thermonuclear missiles, the chariots, Jake waking up, Esau going down, the curse falling upon Esau, but you're not measuring these things. You see all what the breakdowns are, whatever, whatnot, but you don't seem to be applying these things and looking around and trying to match them up. Like, oh shit, the RFID chip is being pushed right now. Oh shit, America is collapsing. Oh shit, thermonuclear warfare is really on the horizon. All right, all these different things should let you know, that these prophecies are at hand. All right, and not only that they're at hand, but you're also how do I say? You live in. How do I put this? Okay, so for an analogy, right? that there's a goddamn hurricane outside, right? And there's flooding and shit outside. But you're not going to be all lackadaisical in the fucking house and shit, just chilling like ain't shit going on. You're going to kind of be on your watch just in case some shit shift real quick and you got to make a move. You don't want to just be inside the house all lackadaisical and shit, and then all of a sudden a roaring flood come in and then wash your whole shit away. All right, you want to be kind of watching. Or a hurricane is coming. You don't just be like, well, fuck it, who cares? We're going to just turn the news off, decide to go outside and start barbecuing out in the middle of the goddamn hurricane. Don't even know it's a hurricane coming. All right, you like, oh shit, it's a hurricane. We're going to keep all our activities in the indoors. We're going to prepare for this hurricane. We might need to get some batteries, some water, whatever, whatnot, because we know that this is coming. All right, so you have to be attentive to these things that you're reading and understanding about. All right. We're going to go into the book of, this is Romans 12. I'm going to start at verse 5. So we being many are one body in Hamashiach, and every one member of one another, having then the gifts. All right, this is one of the things I want to point out. This, the spirit of prophecy, to be able to have that spirit, it's a gift. It says that having then gifts different according to the grace that is given to us. All right, this is a gift that's given to us. Whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the portion of faith. All right, so look, now you're not gonna be given 100% of all every damn thing. All right, that's like Yahawashi, and really he wasn't even given 100% of everything. All right, because there's a scripture to say no man knoweth the day or the hour when the Son of Man is gonna return. Nobody knows but the Most High, basically, roughly paraphrase. Only the Most High knows when Yahawashi is gonna come return. All right, so at the end all be all, and then, really the next level from that is what? Yahawashi. He know all things beyond that, But nevertheless, for us, we're not going to get all things, you're not going to, be super deep in all 100, 100% of every damn thing, all right? Because why? What we just read in verse 5. So we, being many members, being many, are one body, and Hamashiach, and every one member, one of another. All right, so look, just imagine if that's just like you got a left hand and a right hand, right? Imagine if you had a hand, just one hand that could, you could use your left hand as a left hand or a right hand. You didn't need both of them. Or you got one leg, you could use it as a left foot or a right foot. Nah, you got both. You got two legs, two arms. They got their own, different jobs and different things to do, man. All right. Or like you got hair on your head, you got, hair on your eyebrows, you know what I'm saying? But they got, and hair under your arm, but they all hair, but they all got different purposes, One's going to do a job for this point and one's going to do a job for that situation, all right? It says, verse 6 again, having then gifts different according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the portion of faith, or ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching, or he that exhorteth on exhortation. He that giveth, let him do it with simplicity, and he that ruleth with diligence, and he that showeth mercy with cheerfulness. All right, and these are all gifts given by the Most High. All right, these are all gifts that you're given. All right, so not any and everybody can. Let me see if I can find that real quick. What was it? 2 Peter. All right, so like I was saying, nobody can really just come up with their own breakdowns, their own prophecy. This is what I think it means. This is what I think it means. No, there's only one how do I say, one way to break this here thing down, man. There's only one truth to it all. Now sometimes prophecies have a twofold meaning. All right, they may mean two different things at the same time. All right, one may be a spiritual meaning and one may be a physical meaning. Let me see if I can think of something like that. But but some things are actually like that. Where you have, well, it means this, but then it also means that, a little deeper meaning. This is actually talking about this as well. All right, but nevertheless, at the end all be all, there's only one real breakdown to it. All right, so just like I was trying to get make an analogy out of this, or paint a picture with it. But nevertheless, the Most High is the author of all these things. All right. So if it's not what he intended it to be, then that ain't the breakdown. All right. So it says 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that you take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of Scripture is of any private interpretation. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but by holy men of the Most High, spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost. All right, so again, basically, the prophets, they were just vessels. All right, they were just, this is just like a voiceover actor, right? The prophets are more or less, like voiceover actors. Somebody else wrote the script and told them what they was gonna say on the damn script. They was hired to come in and read the damn script. That's what their job was to do, And so the prophecies, or it's a lot. The prophecies are more or less like the script, all right, that the voiceover actor has to go and read, and the prophets are pretty much the voiceover actors, all right. But the script writer would be the Most High. All right, so what, the voiceover actor can't just go in there and wing it, say whatever he want to go say, whatever, whatnot, because why? He'll lose his job. That's not what I hired you for. That's not what I hired you to say. I wanted you to say what was exactly on that paper and mean exactly what I meant to say on that paper. You don't get the script and be like, oh, I think he meant to say this, or I think this is what he means by this, Or if they say, you hear some commercials where they advertise certain things like, buy one, get one free, equal or lesser value, Well, I think that they really meant buy one, get one free of anything in the store. You could buy one now and get whatever else you want free. So you can buy the cheap shit and get the expensive shit for free. Like, nah, that ain't what they meant. You want to say that if you want to say that, and you go into the store and you're like, well, so-and-so says such and such, such and such. Like, nah, well, that's not how we wrote it down. They was just saying whatever the fuck they wanted to say. This is what our plan and our promotion is, all right? That's the same way with these here scriptures, man. None of this is our own private interpretation, our own private breakdown. I think this is what this mean. I think what that mean. All right, because in the end all be all, all right, so for instance, the RFID or the mark of the beast, right? Some people think it's this and some people think it's that, but we know it's the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. All right, but somebody else can say, well, I think the mark of the beast is Christianity. All right, well, when come on now, you could think that if you want to, but your ass be done got microchipped, the Lord be done returned, this place be done got nuked, and your ass still looking for that. Because that's not what the Most High meant by it, all right? You can go deeper into these here words, and you can see that it's going to be something that's going to be implanted inside of your skin, all right? And they're going to use something akin to like a syringe to inject it inside of your ass, all right? So, it's not a proper interpretation, man. It is what it is. It says what it says, man. It means what it means, all right? You can't just go in there and just break it down however you want, because that's not really a true prophet. The Most High has this here plan, like we read it going into the word prophecy. All right, let me see if it says it here as well, too. But as far as bringing forth, I should say the same thing here. Yeah. It says, hang on. Oh, right here. First one. Of the prediction of the events relating to Hamashiach's kingdom, its speedy triumph, together with the consolation and admonitions pertaining to it. The spirit of prophecy, the divine mind to which prophetic fallacy is due. Going down, it says, the third one, it says, the second one. The endowment and speech of the Christian teachers called prophets, the gift, the utterance of these prophets, especially the prediction of the works of which set apart to teach the gospel, will accomplish for the kingdom of Hamashiach. So the kingdom of heaven is going to be established through what? The prophecies. It's things that was letting you know that it was coming, the scripture do say, talking about kingdom of heaven, coming as a thief of the night, the Lord coming as a thief of the night, kingdom of heaven, is coming like that. People ain't going to really be able to see it, only really the minute of the Lord, because why? They're focused on the prophecies. This is how they're measuring the time diligently, by looking at the prophecies. It's not like a goddamn school bus coming down the road, if you live, like, let's just say you live out in the country, you live on this long ass road, you know what I'm saying, and it's dark in the morning and the school bus coming, all right, and they got that little flashy light on top, the little strobe light at the top. You can kind of see that strobe light flashing down the block, from a distance before you can even see the bus, Sometimes you can even hear the brakes squealing before you can even see the bus, But nevertheless, this is how you know that the bus is about to start coming. You can see the signs and hear the signs of the bus as it's creeping down the road. Same thing with the kingdom of heaven, man. All right, you looking for the signs that's letting you know that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And how do we know? What are those signs? Prophecies. All right, the things that was written aforetime was written for our learning and our understanding, for us to know the things to come, to build us up, also to build us up, to make us right to getting into this kingdom of heaven. All right, this is how the kingdom of heaven is being established through, the remembrance of these here prophecies, and these prophecies coming to pass. All right, and really the prophecies are all set up to what? To, how do I put this, to not to raise up the kingdom of heaven, but to usher in the kingdom of heaven. All right, all these things are going to take place. Like, all right, before the kingdom of heaven is going to be established, this got to be taken out, this got to be implemented, this got to be done, and so on and so forth. Just like you about to have a big ass party at the house or whatever. You about to have family reunion, whatever. Right now, right before the big party come, you want to set up your little those tables and shit. Put the little cloth on top of the tables. Get your little plasticware, your silverware, styrofoam, and all that shit. Go get some ice. Go get some drinks. Go get some food or whatever, whatnot. You preparing for the party. All right. But these things are the signs in which you can measure the time of when the party gonna start. As you as a little kid running through the house, there's a party coming, but now you're seeing your parents starting to set the table, starting to get things. They pulling the chips out, putting the chips on the counter or whatever, whatnot. Well, shit, any moment in time now, somebody gonna start knocking on the door and the party about to start, because why? You can look at the signs and you can measure the times diligently, because why? The chips are now on the table, the dip is set, your mama got the candles lit, some music playing, you know what I'm saying? The house already clean, so the party finna jump off, all right? Want to grab anything else? Oh, yeah, let me go. I just said, too far. Speaking of the party, because I was gonna say, you see your parents getting the table set and everything, so on and so forth. The party's about to take place, right? what should you be doing in the house? All us just grew up and you had some situations like this going on in the household. You know what I'm saying? Your mama done got the whole house cleaned up. Y'all done cleaned up the house, getting ready for the little party or whatever, whatnot. Now the guests finna start coming over. What your mama tell you to go do? All right, go put your good clothes on now. You know what I'm saying? Go tidy up. Make sure you get your shit together because we about to have this here party. I don't want y'all to be running around here acting like a little ass. You know what I'm saying? Get on your best behavior. Prepare yourself for this here party because we about to have a party and don't y'all be showing out, right? So this is 2 Peter chapter 2, 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. So now it says that, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. The day of the Lord is coming as a thief in the night to all the rest of these people because why? They blinded. They don't understand what the hell is going on. They don't see these things. Let me grab, what is that? Luke 10, I think. 23. Yeah, this is Luke 10 and 23. And he turned unto his disciples and said privately, blessed are the eyes which see the things that you see. For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see those things which you see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear and have not heard them. All right, talking about what? Going into these prophecies and being able to see these things, because why? This is why it's going to come as a thief in the night to the rest of these people, man. All right, just like in the days of Noah, it's going to be the same time here. People are going to be eating and drinking and giving into marriage and marrying, basically living it up, having such a good time that they're not going to be watching and being prepared of what's going on. All right, that's just like when you sometimes you be doing some shit too much. You having too much of fun. You get your eye off, or what you're supposed to be doing, watching the kids or whatever, whatnot. And that's when some shit happened because you wasn't focusing on the things you were supposed to be focusing on, and you got too caught up in the little entertainment or whatever you was doing. So you got your eye off the prize. All right. So look, the day of the Lord is gonna come as a thief in the night to those that aren't watching, that's not prepared, the rest of them that was blinded. All right. Because why? They can't understand and see these things. These things was only made open and readily available for the prophets to see. All right, the prophets, those that had the visions to see all these things. All right, they're the ones that's looking for these things. For one, they were the ones that wrote these things down. Let alone these are the same ones as how does Scripture say? The spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. They're gonna come back in the same lot. But nevertheless, as they wake up, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna be occupied in these here prophecies. All right, because why? This is one thing that, especially back in the olden days, they kind of desired to see because they was prophesying about these things and or reading about these things throughout time. But now we're in a time where these things are coming to pass. All right. But look, the day of the Lord is going to come as a thief in the night unto those that how do I say, that are blinded to the fact, man. All right, that are blinded to see the things and distracted with this here world and the things and caught up in this entanglement of this here world, man. All right, but what the prophets, they're going to see these things. The men of the Lord, they're going to see these things, and this is how they measure the time diligently. And also by seeing these things and believing on these things and having faith, they're going to be moved to do the works. And this is the chain reaction to the things that you're seeing right now. This is why the men of the Lord are on the highways and the byways. They not only heard these things, they believed on these things. They have faith in these things. Then they was actually moved to go out there and do the work because they actually saw these things coming to pass. All right. But nevertheless, let's get back to where we was at. This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. All right, now what is that talking about? Thermonuclear warfare. All right, when this here place that you know of as America, Babylon the Great, is turned into what? A lake of fire. All right, via ICBM missiles, thermonuclear missiles, man. All right, because that's going to be the end all be all of Babylon. All right, for in 1 hour, Babylon is taken. She's fallen. All right, but nevertheless, verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved. See, it says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved. All right, speaking in the tense of, oh, this is a prophecy. This ain't happened yet. All right, you see that these things shall be dissolved, meaning it's coming in the future. This is also a prophecy. All right, because even into this same very day, this here scripture hadn't taken place yet. All right, but what, we can still read the same scripture in the same had the same weight. All right, it says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? All right, looking for and hastening into the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to this promise, all right, or these prophecies, look for a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. All right, so look, This is a prophecy that's you know, that we still looking for to come to pass, which is the thermonuclear missiles coming and burning this here place up. All right. But nevertheless, we can also measure the time diligently by being occupied in these here prophecies. All right. This is why the spirit of Yahawashi is prophecy, because these are the things that's going to lead up into the kingdom of heaven being ushered in. All right. It's going to be based off of prophecies. All right. It's not, you're not going to see certain type of shit popping off and certain things happen or whatever, whatnot. And people be like, oh, well, you know, before the Lord come, he going to come out the sky and let us know whatever, whatnot. I mean, even if that was the case, you know, if you know about that, then, I mean, obviously it was written down somewhere, so therefore it would be like a prophecy somewhere, all right? But nevertheless, you know, the things that was written 4 times written for our learning and our understanding, and those things are what? You know, you got other things other than prophecy, but nevertheless, the main part of what we're living in right now, all right, as we read in the book of Daniel, these things were sealed up to the time of the end, all right? Then knowledge was going to be increased, all right? It's talking about these here prophecies, and that's where we should be occupied in these latter days, these last times, because why? This is what's going to usher in and bring in the kingdom of heaven, all right? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, you was edified with this here lesson. Until the next time, I say, call halal Yahawah, Bahashim Yahawashi, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And citation and much love for you. I can pushing this truth and sincerity on the 4 corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.